How would you like to finally have the relationship of your dreams? Welcome back. It's Carol Anderson here again, and I'm so glad you made a decision to sign up for these 3 videos. I will be presenting some little known but extremely important information, and not knowing this information could mean your marriage might not survive. So congratulations and welcome back. Now in this first video, I will share why marriage counseling may not have helped, our industry's dirty little secret, and how it will likely result in your marriage failing, how individual therapy is usually the beginning of the end of your relationship, how to find out if your marriage counselor is competent in couples therapy, and finally, 4 pearls of wisdom my husband and I learned that saved our marriage. Okay, secret number 1. Why marriage counseling doesn't usually help. I want to let you in on my industry's dirty little secret. Did you know that in California, which has the strictest requirements for licensure as a marriage and family therapist, that we are not required to take 1 class in couples therapy? No wonder nothing helped us. But it gets worse. If one partner goes to individual therapy, she will only be able to tell her side of the story. The therapist, trained mostly in listening, supporting, and confronting, usually asks, "Why would you want to stay in such an unhealthy and miserable relationship?" What the therapist is secretly admitting is that she doesn't know what to do either. Additionally, the client, not understanding her therapist's lack of training in relationships, feels that there must be something wrong with her. This increases the partner's feelings of overwhelm and pessimism about her marriage. Sadly, it's usually only a short time before the therapist, who also feels overwhelmed and pessimistic, starts supporting or even encouraging the partner's desire to end their relationship. But it gets even worse. Here is what the National Registry of Marriage-Friendly Therapists reports. Quote, in a national survey of over 1,000 marriage and family therapists, over 60% indicated they are neutral on marriage versus divorce for their clients. Only 1/3 said, "I am committed to preserving marriage and avoiding divorce whenever possible." Disturbingly, 2.4% said they frequently recommend divorce. Unquote. Now, if marriage counseling didn't help you, please don't blame your past therapists. You see, it isn't their fault. They simply don't know what they don't know. So how do you find a marriage counselor who will really help? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. The key is in learning how to interview your potential therapist so you can be sure they will help you and not create more problems for your relationship. First, before you even call a therapist, check online in the National Registry for Marriage-Friendly Therapists. This registry screens therapists to be sure they have the mindset, training, and experience to really help marriages be successful. Second, when you call the therapist, ask for a complimentary consultation to find out if they are a good fit for you and your partner. Third, ask them how much and what is their specific training, supervision, and experience working with couples. Fourth, ask them if they follow a specific model or orientation, and if so, what is it, and to please explain it to you. If they are eclectic or do not have a specific relationship orientation, ask them how they see couples' problems, solutions to the problem, and how they work with couples. Number 5, ask how do they feel about divorce? Do they ever recommend it, and under what circumstances? And what percentage of their couples actually break up? Now, unfortunately, you'll not likely find too many therapists who will be able to answer these questions. But don't give up. They are out there. And at the end of this video series, I will give you some resources for finding couples therapists, and for those interested, the information on my couples workshop. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Now, to only be fair, I think I should answer these same questions for you. As a result of my own experience at that workshop over 20 years ago, I was motivated to gain over 400 hours of additional training. This is the equivalent of a second master's degree in couples therapy. Additionally, I became certified to present that same workshop. My training includes over 300 hours of coursework and 100 hours of supervision in Imago relationship therapy for both couples and for singles who are preparing for marriage. Plus, I created 2 intensive 2-day workshops. I have over 20 years experience working with couples in a full-time private practice, and I have presented over 40 workshops teaching couples and singles how to be successful in relationships. Additionally, I am a member of the National Registry of Marriage-Friendly Therapists, and I'm always happy to give a complimentary consultation when asked. I believe if 2 people are committed to their relationship, willing to work hard on it, and willing to change themselves, there is no reason their marriage cannot be successful. The only reasons that a couple cannot work on their relationship, in my opinion, would be if either or both have any serious mental illness, untreated addictions, ongoing affair, or if there is serious abuse of any kind. If those involved are willing and able to get help and make changes, I know success is possible. And finally, I never recommend divorce, but only help partners come to their own decision, only after a serious attempt to save the marriage has occurred. As a result, my couples seldom divorce. Remember that workshop I dragged Larry to over 20 years ago? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Do you want to know what a few of the crucial pearls of wisdom were that we learned during those 2 transformational workshop days that helped to change our relationship? Well, pearl number 1. The first thing we learned was that we both were stuck in victim roles and so kept ourselves feeling helpless in the relationship. We found out that we needed to empower ourselves so we didn't have to be the victim anymore. This required taking an honest inventory of our own side of every relationship problem we had. Only then could we be empowered to make changes that could positively impact the relationship. We learned that making a strong commitment to consistently working on the relationship was vital to our success. We learned new information as well as new tools and skills to help us both change ourselves and change our relationship. Pearl number 3. We learned who each other really is. Deep down inside, under all our layers of anger, frustration, hurt, and fear, we learned we were still just a little boy and a little girl in a lot of pain. This resulted in our developing deep compassion for each other and for the wounds that we suffered in life, which molded us into who we are today. It also resulted in our own self-awareness, which was needed to reclaim our wholeness and finish childhood. Finally, pearl number 4. Perhaps this is the most important. We learned that we were both imperfect and both had a lot of work to do on ourselves. We understood that this would be an endless journey, not a short destination. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you will join me again in my next video, where I'm going to talk about secret number 2, why, if your partner is driving you nuts, they're probably perfect for you. In that video, you will learn the one myth that you likely believe that sabotages your relationship, how relationships naturally evolve, why your partner suddenly seemed to change, what happened to all those wonderful traits you fell in love with, and finally, what is really driving you nuts. Thank you for attending, and may you begin the journey to the relationship of your dreams.